Hello and welcome to another AIC Productions video. Today I want to do just a quick video on my 98 Ford Ranger slash Mazda B4000. I get a lot of people who give me crap about saying one name or the other when they're exactly the same truck, so you know, it doesn't really matter. Anyways, I got these off-road lights on Amazon. I'll put a link to them and the wiring harness in the description of the video if you're at all interested. But I got them because I know off-road lights are light bars before doing anything else, but I like to go camping and the lights are excellent for setting up a campground, things like that, and so they're extremely handy and useful. And it's just the two little lights in front. I don't have a big 42-inch light bar. Anyways, let's go ahead and look at the wiring. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the wiring that I've done. I'm probably going to rerun it. I have it coming up through here, and then it comes along here, and then there's a split off for the power, so you have the negative and the power with the fuse, and then there's actually a relay right here, and then from the relay I have it going back around here, zip tied to there, into there. And then I'll show you the inside. I haven't wired up the inside yet. The day I was setting this up, it was 109, and I don't think it's gotten below 110 since. So here's the switch. Like I said, I haven't gotten it in place yet. I'm not quite sure where I want it. I don't know if I want it like here around the bezel. I'm also thinking about over here. If you have any thoughts on that, or if you have a switch set up, let me know what you might suggest. But I'll need to drill a hole. It's round. Yeah, it's a nice switch. It has a nice actuation on it. It's a very, like, you know that you've clicked that that switch for sure. You've clicked it. I've turned them on now. I'll show you how bright they are. It's not nighttime yet, so it's kind of hard to see quite how bright they are, but they're definitely brighter than previous ones I've purchased. Yeah, today was 114 degrees. It was just too hot to work on it. And you'll also notice the lights aren't quite aimed very well. That has a lot to do with the fact that it is just so dang hot outside. But yeah, those lights are pretty bright. Let me show you up underneath. So I didn't actually have to drill any holes or anything. There was already a hole there for the bolt to go through. So I had to, second, see if I can't get that out of the way a little bit. So the nut or bolt goes on this side and then nut on the other side. And the nut on the other side is what you actually tighten because it gets held in on this side by the bracket itself. And then there's your adjustment screws, and I'll have to adjust both of those, loosen that just a little bit and loosen those to adjust it to get it to fit well. I did have to cut the plastic a little bit, which is fine. It wasn't too much trimming to get it so that it sat flush, but yeah, no drilling or anything. Just some cable ties to pull the cable up. The cabling actually had the wiring harness. Here it is right here. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of how I have it wired currently, so I'm going to be fixing that the next little bit. Have a better run on there. But this actually has zip tied it too well. Actually has a plug that you wire to the light. So the light has its own wire with just two ends on it. And from there, you actually, the wiring harness has a plug that you wire onto there, and then that plugs into the harness, so it's a waterproof connection on there. So I've got both. Oh, you can see the plug on this side. So here's the plug here that you wire to the light, and then that plugs into the harness. And again, I had no drilling. There was already a hole right here. The bolt fit through just fine, and then the LEDs are on there. So I think this is a good place. This is where the factory fog lights, I think that's why there's a hole here, I don't know if my truck had the fog lights originally or not, but I didn't have it when I bought the truck. There's these plugs here that might have been for fogs. I have a switch on the inside, but again, I'm not 100% sure. You know, when you buy a truck that's almost 20 years old, it was 18 years old when I bought it, and it had been in an accident previously, so it has a salvage title. So a lot has happened to it, and I don't know, you know, exactly what its life has been, and I can tell that the person who owned it, the kid, I bought it from a college kid, he hit literally every single corner on this truck. You'll notice the bumpers on the front and back are bent in just a little bit. Not a lot, but just enough that you can tell that he's hit it on every corner. But those are the lights. They're very nice and bright at night, as they should be. These ones are a little bit higher wattage. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head what they are, but I want to say they're 65 watt. Let me turn them off so I don't drain my battery. There are a bunch of different wattages. This was one of the higher wattages for the smaller LED lights without going higher. And then of course I made sure I bought a wiring harness that said it was rated to that. So there were a lot of wiring harnesses, or actually the wiring harness that it suggested was not rated to the wattage that these said they went to. So that's something to keep in mind when you go to buy this. Make sure the harness actually matches the lights, and that's why I'll link these to in the description if you're at all interested. But yeah, that one kind of points further out, and that one just kind of points up. So I definitely need to adjust them, and I'll do that as soon as it's not 114 degrees outside. It's too hot to touch. I mean, it's scalding. So anyways, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section down below. Alright, so I just wanted to follow up on the video I did earlier today on the off-road lights on my Ford Ranger / B4000 truck. So right now I have my headlights on. The headlights in this truck are pretty poor. Go ahead and turn on the brights, and yeah, it's okay. It's fine when you're driving, and obviously the camera's compensating for a bit by dimming it. But let's go ahead and turn on the off-road lights, and you can see, I mean, you just see just how much more you can see. Now it is, like I said, it's pointing off to the side. I need to adjust them. I do want them pointing out a bit so they light up the sides as well as the front, but go ahead and turn my brights off in case somebody comes the other way. But I want them just to light the area in front of me. With the brights off, let's go ahead and flick those again, and you just see, I mean, again, the camera is compensating for it. It's cutting out some of the light that you would see, but it's a big difference, very noticeable. Anyways, I'll add this into the rest of the video. Hope you have a great day.